It's your girl Tiffany, and welcome back to Believe It or Not. Girl, I have video for you. I know you heard. Hunter Biden was found guilty on 3 counts of gun possession, okay? Illegally, okay? While he was high off of crack, allegedly. Allegedly here, okay? But before we get into this video, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you can be notified of all the news and entertainment and everything in between that happens here on Believe It or Not. Let's get into this video.
Thank you for sticking with First at 4. As we told you at the top of the hour, today President Biden's son Hunter convicted of all 3 felony charges related to a 2018 revolver purchase. Now there's a lot of questions about the implications of that case and of course its outcome. Here to talk more about this is North Central College political science professor Stephen Caliendo. Thank you so much for being here.
Before we get into his point of view, okay, word on the street is Joe Biden is supposed to be pardoning his son. You didn't hear that from me, okay? Allegedly, okay? Is he going to let him face the fire, okay? Or is he going to pardon him, okay? I think he should let him face the fire, okay? Because in 1994, Joe Biden has put out a crime bill that put a lot of black and brown people in jail for the same thing that his son has been convicted of, okay? So he should rot in jail just like everybody else. But, this is the president's son. I don't think he's going to do no jail time. And if he do pardon him, it's going to be a lot of stuff that goes on. I'm not condoning violence and I'm not asking for violence. I'm not inciting violence, but it's going to be an upset. And I think Joe Biden is really going to lose his base if he pardons his son. I don't agree with it, but we're going to see. We shall see, okay?
Happy to see you.
I see you a lot, so I'm happy that you're here to sort this out for us. Let's start by talking about really the political implications of this case when it comes to the 2024 election. We have Hunter Biden in this verdict, and we also have the Trump verdict. How are people viewing this in the public when it comes to casting that ballot? Does this really matter for Joe Biden?
I'm going to give you my opinion. It does, okay? Because my thing is, if it didn't, y'all would have brung this out instead of saying Russia, disinformation, okay? This would have hurt Joe Biden when he was running for presidency. Yes, it would have. They wouldn't have buried it like they did, okay? They kept on saying lies on CNN. Oh, that's lies. No, that's just the Republicans trying to do this and that, when it was actually true. Trump told y'all that it was true, okay? And they had the evidence and they buried it, okay? I think something else should happen. Some more legal stuff that should happen going towards the Joe Biden, Joe Biden and his family, because they hid this. Him and his party worked overtime to hide all this evidence, and it's just now coming out. Yeah, it has implement. Yeah, it's going to damage Joe Biden because it's going to look like he is a liar and he was hiding information like he was hiding information in his garage next to his porch. Okay, allegedly. Okay.
It's a great question. We're going to have to see some polling data in a couple of days now that the Hunter Biden verdict is in. We didn't see much movement after the Trump verdict. But again, those are short-term polls. What we're really interested, of course, is how much is it going to affect where people are in November and which people in which states might they be moved. I think it's a little troublesome. Again, Tia, you asked the right question, but a little troublesome to compare them because, of course, one is the candidate that's running for president. The other one is the son of a candidate who's running for president. And so
who cares? Yeah, they're different. Those are different cases, but who cares? Joe Biden, you hid your son information from the public for years. And you want to talk about the Republicans who was doing a witch hunt against your son? No, because everybody knew. And then when they was trying to bring it out, you kept on calling them liars. Oh, there's no here, there. It was everywhere on his laptop. Thank God that where he turned his laptop in the, the repair shop, that guy, the owner, turned that laptop in and come to find out it was damaging information on there. Okay. And they hid that. So yeah, it can ruin Joe Biden because he lied.
I think that there is a tendency, and I think the reason I think you asked a really good question, for people to sort of say, well, both sides are a little bit messy and it kind of ends up as an equivalence. But there is a substantive difference between those two cases.
Yeah, there is a difference, and I find it interesting that President Biden did speak at a gun control event hours after this verdict. No mention of the verdict. Do you think the president at some point will have to address this?
I don't think so, Tia. In fact, he probably shouldn't.
No, he ain't going to address this, okay? But he had his little minions come out and address Trump. Is he going to have one of his little paid actors come and address this for him? Or is he going to have the balls to do it himself? No, he not. No, he not. Because you know why? They're going to try to do an appeal. So he's going to shut up until that appeal gets decided, okay? And they're going to try to take it to the Supreme Court. But the thing about the Supreme Court, they don't want to Hunter Biden is not important. It's not important. They don't want to hear him. Throw his ass in jail just like you do to everybody else that if they would have went through this, they would have been in jail. But this is the president's son. So we shall see, okay?
There's an odd scheduling glitch that he ended up at that event
wasn't no
today
glitch.
When the verdict came down. Of course, that was long scheduled ahead of time. Couldn't have
Well, they
known.
should have canceled it.
And there's some irony in this decision. In this verdict today, of course, because it will be appealed. And because it will be appealed, I think that's the reason why President Biden needs to probably stay quiet about it, other than saying he supports his son as a father, but stay quiet about the substance of it. But the irony part of it is that gun control activists will get behind the appeal. In other words, most gun control or most gun activists, pro-gun activists, do not like Biden. And find gun control folks problematic. But this appeal will partly center on whether or not the law that he was just convicted of is constitutional, given the way this.
It's not constitutional because you ain't supposed to be on the type of drugs that's trying to get a gun. That's like mental health or something like that. How would you like if the next door neighbor was on acid, can't possess a gun? Wouldn't you think he would try to flip out and just try to do any and everything to everybody in the building? Or do something to you? When he tripped out on acid? No. Even if he is not no criminal, I do not believe that he should be possessing a gun. At all. So I don't understand. I don't care if he's not a criminal. He already knew that he wasn't supposed to have a gun. He didn't even have a license to have a gun. One of his women, I think ex-wives or girlfriends at that time, threw the gun away, threw the evidence away. Trying to get rid of evidence. This shall hurt Joe Biden and his base because we see that you're a liar. We see that you covered up for your son. And we see that you covered up for him so you could become president. I feel like allegedly, you didn't hear this from me, Joe Biden got a lot of lies that he had to hide before so he could become president. But now that everybody's saying that he's incompetent, they're going to come out. Watch. His base is going to turn on him. Watch.
Supreme Court ruled a couple of years ago, and the way a Texas federal court ruled just last year about whether or not people who are not violent criminals, don't have a history of violent crime, should be allowed to possess a firearm. So it's going to get real interesting real fast.
Yeah, I think you're right about that in terms of looking at gun laws and the wider implications behind it. Okay, let me ask you this. This will be my final question for you. Do you find it surprising that the jury returned a verdict relatively in this case?
I'm not.
I don't. It was short. You know, it's funny because we were, those of us who pay a lot of attention to these things had our eyes very carefully placed onto the Trump trial just a few weeks back, but it was many, many weeks. This was a much simpler case. There were only 3 counts. There were 4 elements of each.
You know why it was simple? Because they had all the evidence. They didn't have a liar and a porn star to come up there and lie, allegedly. But they are liars. Let's put that back on though. Allegedly. Okay? They didn't have 34 counts of whatever they tried to throw at his ass and try to cipher through which one they was going to throw at his ass, okay? They had the facts. They had the laptops. They had actual witnesses. His ex-wife or his wife was saying that she had to check the car before one of his daughters took the car to drive because she did not know that if she was going to find another crack pipe. And she was finding crack pipes. That's why she had to check the cars before her daughters drove the car. Okay? So, yeah, this is looking kind of bad for Joe Biden. Hunter Biden may go to jail, but we don't know. One law for them, one law for us. So, we don't know. This is probably just theater. We on a grand stage, okay? And this is all an act.
There's only a week worth of witnesses, and so it's not surprising surprising to me. Take them a long time. Hearing from some of the jurors, they were pretty split. I guess last night there was still one holdout this morning, and then after a couple of hours, that person came around. So it didn't surprise me that they came back quickly. I was ready to jump on Fox 32 today. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's why we always love having you on. You're always prepared, even with all the questions that we throw at you. Professor Caliendo, thank you so much.
Okay. The truth shall prevail, okay? Hunter Biden has been found guilty of 3 charges of gun possessions, okay? Illegally, okay? And I am so glad that this came out the way it needed to come out, because if it would have came out that he was not guilty, then we all know. We all know one justice for one and one justice for the other, okay? But my question to you is, do you think Hunter Biden is going to jail, or is Joe Biden going to pardon his son, okay? If so, leave comments in the comment section. If not, leave comments in the comment section. We can chop it up, okay? And that was the video. Peace.